All right, guys, I have a confession to make. It's really tough for me to share this on the channel and be so open. It's not something I really wanted to talk about, but I have to tell you, I have to be honest. I think I have an addiction to Formula One cards. And all right, wow, the boos are already coming. Everyone's really upset. I get the comments every time. Formula One is a scam. I can't believe you influencers pumping down. Fair enough. I never say like not financial advice, but I'm gonna say it for this one. Not financial, actually yes, financial advice. Do not invest in Formula One cards. It is probably not a good investment at all. But it's something I've really been enjoying lately. I just love watching the sport for whatever reason. I love collecting these cards. And I've actually how about this? I've flipped one of them and that's covered basically my entire expenditure on the rest of them. So that kind of just shows you there is opportunity no matter how bad people talk about it. So I'm not gonna go one by one because there's just an insane amount of these cards here, but I wanna show you guys just kind of the stuff I've been picking up and why I can justify it, why I believe in it. So even if you're not a Formula One collector, maybe you can apply it to, you know, like Marvel cards before they hyped up or whatever you happen to believe in. I don't know, maybe it'll be interesting. I'm excited to share it with you guys. All right, so you can see right there, a ton of cards. I wasn't lying. It's too much for me to like talk through every single card. So we're just gonna kind of go by driver and I'll show you the kind of stuff I've been picking up and what I've been thinking. First up, Lando Norris, and you know, this speaks to my addiction. I think I remember every single price I paid for these. This one was $15. A refractor, it's the freshest faces, so it's not his like main card, but he has been killing it this season, really outperforming expectations, looking by far the strongest McLaren driver. I've actually been actively avoiding buying him because I'm like, okay, you can't prospect on every young driver, but I saw this one for a good price, so at least I have one if he just continues on this path he's on. All right, so after Lando Norris, if you're gonna dive into something new like Formula One Topps Chrome, you have to go for the GOAT, and that's who Lewis Hamilton is. Multi-time world champion, and he's not done yet. I've been picking up a ton of his stuff as much as I can. Not too much base, but you know, his refractors like that right there, it's not his main card. Like his main cards are the best thing to buy, but quite honestly, it's just more than I want to spend right now. But I have been able to get like his refractors for $2 a pop. I don't think it's up there yet, but I have some purples. I think I might even have some golds, which are nice. And those are running me $10 a pop. So I'm just picking these up when I can, trying to stay away from base. And here's how I look at it too. I'll talk about it while we're showing the Lewis Hamilton cards. People will buy a box of Spectra basketball and they're gonna get back $200 worth of cards. They're gonna spend $1,400, get back $200 worth of cards. For me, instead of doing that, honestly, just for what I would enjoy personally, I would rather go and take a risk on Formula One. And that's what I'm doing. This is a risk. Anyone wants to comment, this is so stupid. You're never gonna do well on these cards. Maybe I won't. A lot of them have gone up since they've came out. This has basically been a steady up climb, which is funny when you see Instagram posts. Remember the Formula One pump and dump? This stuff is doing well. So I don't know, there's too many cards for me to even talk through. I'm not even sure honestly what's on the screen at this point, but hopefully you enjoy seeing some of the stuff I picked up. I unfortunately have even more on the way. I feel like I have basically all the Grand Prix. I'm trying to decide, I want to put some sets together too, just because it is affordable. I'll see what I can do, but once again, at $2 a pop, totally fine with me. But here's what I'll say, if you're gonna go in to Formula One Topps Chrome, you want to go for the GOATs, and Lewis Hamilton is probably that guy. This is something people are going to want to collect too. That's how I look at it. And boom, I mentioned it at the beginning of it that I flipped one card to pay for the whole thing, and that's it. This Max Verstappen HGA 9.5. It's funny too, right? Because Topps Chrome Formula One HGA graded slab, that goes against everything everyone would tell you about investing in sports cards. So stupid. I bought this for $550 and I just sold it for $1,000. Okay, sick, I'm the coolest guy ever. That's not the point. It's just showing that if you believe in something yourself, like I saw the price for that at $550 compared to the other comps, and I was like, that's too low. So I just bought it, and then I was able to find a buyer, and that has paid for basically the whole rest of the Formula One cards. So that's kind of how I can justify it to myself. I think it's just cool that that kind of worked out. Next up, good transition, we have Bottas. I think this is actually my only Bottas card. These outside of, that's the crazy thing too, like some of the prices don't really make sense to me. Like people will pay this absurd amount for a Lewis Hamilton base card, and I get it, but you can get, not so maybe Bottas isn't the right example, but former world champions, they're gold numbered out of 50 for like $5-10. It's just cheap to me. That's an NBA hoops card, and there's probably a reason for that. Like that, you can't compare basketball and Formula One, but I'm purely collecting Formula One, which I think is cool. And then Charles Leclerc has been another one I've been picking up. He was kind of my three that I was really collecting, especially at the beginning, were actually four. Alex Albon being half Asian, he's my PC. But then Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Max Verstappen being the three young drivers that I really believe in. Charles Leclerc hasn't had the start to the season that maybe we wanted, but he's driving for Ferrari. They're kind of like the Yankees of Formula One, or the Cowboys. They're the biggest team. A bunch of people support them. So if Charles Leclerc comes good, I think he'll be a really good guy to invest in. Also picked up a Lewis Hamilton. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in HGA right now, but just picking up cards that makes sense. This one ran me $28, gem mint card, Lewis Hamilton. Just thought it was cool, to be quite honest. It's nice to have it protected. And yeah, so we won't do one by one. It's already gone too long, but you know, some nice Max Verstappen, Topps Chrome Refractors. I would say like Hamilton is number one you should be going after, and then Verstappen is probably next up that you should be looking at. So I've been picking up a ton of their stuff. It's relatively cheap. I mean, Verstappen is even cheaper than Hamilton. Even some of the purples and stuff you're seeing are running me like $4. Just getting numbered stuff too, you know, because it is so cheap. I think going after that kind of stuff is worth it. I think it may pay off in the long run. Just really excited. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Maybe some of you found it interesting. So I just wanted to share at least some of that. But thanks so much for watching and bearing with me. It's something I'm really enjoying right now, and maybe it'll interest some of you. I haven't seen too many Formula One mail days out there. So if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna keep the videos coming.